What's your favourite show when you were growing up?
No, what's your favourite show when you were growing up?
I got you. We were really talking about games. I tricked you. Shows how much attention you're paying. You just listened to me.
I just walked right into that, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
Rabbit season.
Duck season.
Duck season.
What's your favourite game? Tell us right now. Hey, and welcome to the Dan and Mitch Show. He's Dan.
And he's Mitch.
And today we're on a top 10 retro game countdown.
Top 5 and
Top 5. The usual drill, everyone.
Streams crossing.
Gotta cross the streams.
We're going to list our top 5 games that we were playing when we were kids. So they're all pretty old. They're about 20 years old, I think, all our games.
Sure.
And we're going to let you know what we like, and you let us know what you liked.
Yeah. Okay, so Danny, I'm very excited to hear about your top 5 game list.
And I'm very excited to hear about yours.
Thank you, thank you.
Did you want to go first, Mitchell?
No, I think you can go first there, Danny.
So I'll start with my number 5.
Mm-hmm.
So the
Number 5.
bottom of my list today
Ooh, the bread and butter of your list.
is Age of Empires 2. It's just a top-down strategy where you go to town on your friends.
Go to town on your friends. Very nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just about ransacking everyone else's kingdom and coming out victorious.
Yeah. Did you ever play Command and Conquer?
Yeah, I played that before.
I know that.
It's a lot more futuristic, but it's pretty much the same game.
Oh, okay.
These kind of strategy games.
So, trivia. Got any trivia for me?
No. Age of Empires, it was a Microsoft game.
Excellent.
So, yeah, there's no trivia. Just a game that I used to play at a LAN party.
Oh, a LAN party. How fancy.
With our friends, yeah. We'd get some pizza, we'd get some Coke.
Lovely.
It was, we were so cool.
Yeah. You were. So, Danny, you've kind of thrown me off here because I thought I knew what your 5 would be.
Well, really?
Actually, I thought we were doing it in reverse. Actually, don't even think. So, my number 5 is StarCraft. But actually, you know what? No, I'm taking a stand. StarCraft was good, but it doesn't define me. You know what did define me? Commander Keen. I'm going with Commander Keen. That's my 5. Did you ever play this game, Daddy?
It's just a floppy disk.
No, it's Commander Keen. If you don't believe me, you can, by all means.
I will.
So we have some Keen there. Danny, do you ever play it? It's a platformer from God knows when.
I don't know what it is. I've never heard of it before.
Never?
No.
Okay. It was made by Apogee. It was made by Apogee Games.
Yep.
And it was a platformer. It was actually the first game that I ever played.
Yeah.
Yeah. I played it at a friend's house.
Do you remember much about the game?
Nothing.
How come it's on your list?
No, because it was the first game that I played. No, I do remember about. Okay. Commander Keen is about a little space guy who he runs along the landscape in 2D from left to right, jumping over stuff.
So it's like Mario.
Yeah. But this is before Mario, baby.
Is it before Mario?
I don't know. Could be. Now the thing is, the reason I'm thrown off a little bit is because I was actually going to go with StarCraft, but I changed my mind at the last minute because although I like StarCraft, I don't know.
We had some great times playing StarCraft.
We have, haven't we, Danny? So, Danny, I would like to know what your number 4 is.
Okay.
I'm very keen.
My number 4 is Metal Gear Solid from the PlayStation. Not the original platformers, but the one that was launched on the PlayStation. Mm-hmm. That was the first real action or adult game that I played, and it was...
Espionage action.
Tactical.
Oh, it was very tactical.
Espionage actions. It was the first time I was playing a game that felt like a movie, because the game itself you can finish in 10, 12 hours.
Yeah.
And every time you're just going through and fighting another boss to get further along the game. It's like a Die Hard movie. Did you also know that the actual character model was based off Christopher Walken's face and Jean-Claude Van Damme's body?
Ooh.
Yeah.
What a mix.
Yeah, interesting, eh?
That is interesting. What interests me about Metal Gear Solid isn't the game itself, but the bosses.
Sure.
I heard that there was a boss, Psycho Mantis,
Yep.
where the only way to beat him was to unplug your controller. Is this true?
It's not the only way to beat him.
Okay.
But
Can you just hit him over the head?
No, you can beat him. It just takes a lot longer. I didn't know the controller trick of pulling the controller out and putting it in.
Or you could just turn it off. That would work too.
No, it wouldn't. No, because he starts talking about the left hemisphere of the brain and the right hemisphere of the brain.
Oh, I see.
So he does give you clues.
Yeah. Not very good clues, are they?
No. Also, it was one of the only games where there's a torture scene, and if you can, and how that the outcome of the torture scene, basically decided whether Meryl, the girl you're interested in, the girl you're trying to save throughout your adventure, if she's killed or not. She can actually die at a certain point of the game.
Really?
And it changes the end result. You either leave with Meryl or you get to leave with Otacon.
Interesting.
So there's 2 solid endings of the game.
Spoiler alert! Yeah, no, good choice.
Thank you.
Metal Gear, lots to talk about with Metal Gear. I mean, that could be a show on its own, couldn't it? Over to moi.
Over to you. So what's your number 4?
So, Denny, my number 4, a very good question. I've forgotten it. Now, GTA 1. Did you ever play this, Denny? How good was it? This was the first time I ever played something like without even touching the story. I just drove around killing everyone.
Yeah, you did.
And do you remember all those little orange men? The Garanga men?
Yeah.
What did they used to say? They used to chant something.
They used to look like school children dressed in visors.
Oh, that's right, yeah. I originally played it on the PC.
Yeah.
Probably like 2 years before this even came out.
Yeah. So why did you like it?
Why did I like it? It was just an incredibly fun game. And this isn't the best version of it, because on PC you had trains that would actually go places. In this, it was too CPU intensive, so they didn't have trains. Most people have probably played this one because it was just, the controls. This is why you have GTA on a console, because it was so maneuverable. It was great. Yeah, but top stuff. I've always been a big fan of GTA, even though the newer ones just, I don't know, they kind of piss me off for reasons that I don't want to even get into, gentle viewer. So, Denny, GTA 2. This was an interesting thing because I used to have this hooked up on a LAN and play it with people.
Yeah.
And what was interesting was you could actually change the files, which would alter the properties of the cars.
Really?
Yeah. So there was this little crappy little car. It was like a dingy thing that no one would ever pick up because it was too slow and wouldn't go anywhere. So I changed the values of it so no one knew that car, no one would think to get into that car. So and you'd see them everywhere. They were all over the place because they were the crappiest car. They were abundant.
Yeah.
So I would jump in when I had to get away, running away from the other person, and it would just, away she goes.
So you're a cheater.
I was a cheater from way back.
Okay. Well, I'm going to give you my number 3.
I'd love to hear your number 3.
My number 3 is Final Fantasy VIII.
Ooh, Final Fantasy VIII.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love Final Fantasy VIII.
Oh, it's a good one, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Never played it.
Really?
Well, I played the first hour of it, I think.
Wow.
And that was my favourite part. As soon as you had to go off into the wilderness.
So as soon as the game starts after the
As soon as the game starts, that's when I jumped out for a coffee.
I loved that game as soon as it started. The opening film clip with the water and the gunblade fighting was just fantastic. That was one of the first games where the character proportions of the characters in the real world as they're walking around and exploring matched the proportions in the film clips and matched the proportions in the battle sequence. Previously to that, usually in
Final Fantasy VII?
Yeah, perfect example. In the main game, when all the characters are walking around, all the characters have kind of bigger heads and smaller bodies. It's a little easier to identify them. Sure. So it was more like an icon of the character. This was the first one where you're that character walking around.
Really took it up to the next level, didn't it?
Absolutely.
It dialed it up to 11.
Absolutely.
Let's all go to 11.
I just like it because it's this fantastically science fiction, fantasy soap opera with swords with guns in them. It's just brilliant.
And how long was it?
A long time. It was like an 80-plus hour game.
I never owned it, of course.
Yeah.
Because it was like $90 or something.
Yeah.
But I did rent it. and there was like 6 discs.
4.
4 discs.
4 discs.
I wonder what those other 2 were.
Well, I mean, spoiler alert if you haven't played it. But in one of the big benefits of Final Fantasy VIII is when I was playing it originally in Final Fantasy VII, the game, the lead female gets killed. The love interest, one of the main characters, dies.
What was her name?
It was Aerith. She dies
Yeah.
in that game, and I'd overheard my friends talking about how the main girl dies, or the girlfriend character dies.
Okay.
So when I was playing Final Fantasy VIII, I was like, oh no, Renault is going to die. The girl in this is going to die. And in the third disc of the game,
Yeah.
so I'd been playing for hours and hours and hours.
Yeah.
There's this one scene where they're going through space, and she looks like she's going to die, and
Yeah.
her helmet gets cracked, and she's running out of air, and I'm like, oh no, and I was getting super sad, and it was highly emotional until she didn't die.
Wow.
I just love Final Fantasy VIII.
Yeah.
One of the first big epic games that I think I ever really played.
Yeah.
And finished.
So, my top 3, Danny.
Yep, you're number 3.
I wonder if you can guess it.
Uh,
Just think of all the thousands of games and just... What am I thinking of right now?
Abe's Odyssey?
Yes!
Really?
Yeah. How did you know?
Oh, shit. Seriously?
Yeah. Well, kind of ruined where I was going with that, but thank you, Danny. It's Abe's Odyssey, Danny, and I know. It was available on the PlayStation.
Yep.
It was actually when I first got my PlayStation 1 for Christmas. I was such an excitable kid.
Yep.
It came on a demo disc, and that's where I played it for the first time. Do you remember
demo
that?
discs.
Yeah.
These come in the PlayStation magazines.
Yeah. This one came with the console itself.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, I mean, there was all these other crappy games, but Abe's Odyssey was the great one that stood out, and I think I played it hundreds of times.
Wow.
The first section of the
Yep.
game.
Did you ever own the actual game?
No. It was too expensive, Daddy.
Who
Who do you think I am?
I hear that game was great. It
It
had
was
multiple
fantastic.
endings.
Yeah.
I heard the learning curve was incredibly steep in that game, though.
That game was such a hard game, and it was the first game that I ever finished.
I thought you didn't.
Thank you.
ever
Thank
own
you.
it.
Thank you, everyone.
Did you borrow it? Or?
No, I rented it hundreds of times from the local video store. It took me 2 years to finish it.
Which ending did you get?
With the money that I spent on renting it, I probably could have bought it. But I just got to the 50 point, and I thought, well, it's too late now. I'm almost done with it. I'm not going to shell out $80.
Wow.
Yeah. No, sorry.
Which ending did you get?
Which ending did I get? Well, that's an interesting question, Danny. What ending do you think I got?
I think
There are 2 endings, one good and one bad.
bad.
Yeah.
Did you save any of them?
No, it was so hard. Like, the only ones that I saved were the ones that I did so accidentally.
Oh.
I used to like possessing the sligs and then just gutting down all of the
Yeah.
Medokans, the green things. That
Madorkins.
Hello, follow me, please. Hello, I'm Abe.
They've released it again.
They
on
have,
to,
yeah, they have.
Modern consoles.
And I've played it and finished it
Again?
recently.
Which ending did you get?
The bad one. I swear I saved every one of those things, and then they still here I am busting my hump trying to save all these little bastards, and then they just throw me in the volcano anyway because I missed 20% of them. But fantastic remake. They introduced quick saves. Thank God.
But does that make the game as fun or as challenging to play?
I was thinking this actually. I thought, do the quick saves make this game a better game? Like, was the difficulty, the insane difficulty, better for the game? No, but wow, the remake is good.
Yeah.
You should check it out.
Yeah, I really want to.
And it's just it's a good game.
My number 2 is
Twofer.
it's what?
It's a twofer.
Twofer. It means 2 for 1.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
So it's not a twofer. It's just a 2.
it's twofer. 2. Danny?
My number 2
2?
And my number 1, they're pretally closely aligned.
Are they?
It's always a tough, like depending on which one I'm playing or which one I'm feeling more nostalgic over.
Yeah.
Would depend on what my number 1 and my number 2 are. But coming in at number 2 is Pokemon.
Pokemon.
What? Pokemon is fantastic.
Is it, Danny? Is it?
Yes, I've played them all. I love them all.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. Okay, wait. What platform is this on?
Game Boy.
On Game Boy, okay. Because I know that there are hundreds of Pokemon games.
Yep.
And when you said Pokemon, I thought Nintendo 64, maybe the photo one.
Pokemon Snap.
Yes.
No, I'm talking like Pokemon, the original game. Like, so Pokemon the game.
So what's it called?
Pokemon Red or Pokemon Blue.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So the original game
on the fat Game Boys?
Yeah.
On these ones?
Yeah. I mean, my favourite was actually Pokemon Yellow. It was a little bit after Red and Blue. Because you started with a Pikachu who would follow you around.
Yeah. And
then you could go collect a Charmander, a Bulbasaur, and a Squirtle.
What's a Squirtle? What are these things?
These are Pokemon. They're little monsters. Pokemon is the English version. The actual game is called Pocket Monsters. That's Charizard.
Okay.
In the original games, there are 151 Pokemon.
Yeah. In
the last game that I played, Pokemon X, there were 750.
Oh, that's too many. Do you need that many?
Yeah, because I caught 750 Pokemon.
Okay. And what are they for? What do you do with Pokemon?
You collect them, you battle them.
And you throw them.
What?
Well, people just throw them, don't they?
Throw the balls and then the Pokemon comes out.
So what do they do inside the ball when they're not fighting?
We can't talk about that. Animal rights issue.
Maybe they're like they're hidden in the lamp and they just want their freedom.
Yeah, there's lots of Pokemon.
So who was your favourite Pokemon, Denny? Oh, right, him.
Charizard.
Right there. So why was he your favourite?
He was just cool.
Yeah?
He was a strong lizard-like Pokemon with giant wings and breathed fire. So
he's not really cool then, is he?
Yeah, he's actually pretty hot.
He's piping hot.
No, yeah, so Pokemon was just one of those games where I was just completely connected to it. Like, as soon as I started playing it, it just was an instant favourite, and I've played almost every version since. Well, the next version of Pokemon it's going to be a mobile game.
Okay.
Wow.
And
you get a little watch.
Yeah.
And Pokemon are located in the real world.
So it's like augmented reality or something like that.
Essentially an augmented reality. But there are going to be some Pokemon that you can only find in Australia.
Yeah.
Or Japan.
What if they're in like someone's house and you have to break into someone's house to get the hidden Pokemon?
Well, they use Google Maps, so none of them are based inside a house.
But so how do you actually find them? Do you just go to the location and blip, and you've got it?
Yeah, well, there's little
awesome.
maps, so you actually can open your phone and you can get closer to wild Pokemon. And
imagine if there was like a Pokemon in the ocean and you'd have to dive to get it. But as soon as you dive, your phone goes dead. You have to get one of those waterproof phones.
But that's called Pokemon Go.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay, so Danny, my number 2 involves a prop. I'm very sorry, Danny, but...
What a surprise.
I know. I just want you to shake my hand, Danny. Shake it.
I don't think you realise the instigator of the handshaking is not the one that does the shooting. If you want to shake my hand, if you insist,
I'll shake your hand.
I will. No, Bang!
No. Let me.
I quit.
Every 90s kid that went to an arcade would play this game, and what a great game this was. This is Time Crisis 2. This was originally at the arcades for years and years and years, and you'd go to Time Zone and you'd play it and everything. And then, the magical day it came out on PlayStation. Oh my god, Daddy. It was the day that it came out. Amazing.
Yeah.
PlayStation.
That's Time Crisis. That's Time Crisis 1.
Oh my god. So it's Time Crisis 1, not 2. Fantastic game. Used to be at the arcades years before it came out on PlayStation 1. And when it came out on PlayStation 1, no more quarters.
Yeah.
Well, Here in Australia, we didn't have quarters. But you get the gist.
Yeah.
Didn't have to, like, carry around a pocket full of coins.
Have you played the more recent ones as well?
I played one of the recent ones, and that was a real stinker. It was a terrible game. It actually had a little joystick on the gun, I think.
Whoa.
and you would move around. And, I mean, that sounds kind of cool, like, moving around freeform. But when you played it, it was just so clunky, you'd never want to... Like, being on rails is what makes a great shooter, I think. Did you play it at the arcades?
I did, definitely.
Yeah? Did you ever finish it?
No, well, I got close.
It was fantastic to actually finish the game after playing it at the arcades for so long.
Was it hard?
Oh, yeah. It was really hard.
Yeah.
In fact, this isn't my original game, Danny.
Oh, wow.
No. Jackson has it. Hi, Jackson. But I ordered this online from eBay.
Wow.
And got it for a very pretty penny.
Yeah.
And I hooked it up to my television, my LCD, and I was ready. I had it plugged into dusted off my PlayStation 1, got it all ready to go, aimed at the screen, it came on, it went through all of the legal stuff.
Yep.
I shot at the screen and nothing happened.
What?
It turns out that the technology in these guns doesn't work with LCDs, only CRTs.
Okay.
Can you believe that?
Yeah, okay.
So, we're going to need to get an old CRT screen to play this, Danny.
Unless someone is willing to...
Donate. Want to give us a CRT screen to play Time Crisis? You bet you do. Richard Miller. Duck.
Action! Action!
So, Danny, what's your number one?
My number one is quite legendary. Of Zelda!
I see what you did there.
Legend of Zelda, it was the first real game that I ever played.
Okay.
I think...
Well, you played a lot of fake games?
No, it's the first game I kind of played where... Because this was before I had a PlayStation, this was before Metal Gear Solid and Final Fantasy. And all the games...
This is on the Nintendo 64, isn't it?
Nintendo 64, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So prior to this, most of the games I was playing was almost more of a gimmick. Like, I'd play Tetris or I'd play your arcade side-scroller games.
Yeah.
But Zelda was the first game where it was a 3D world. There was a plot, there was a story, there was a reason to run into the field to, go and save the princess.
Yeah.
It was the first game where I felt like I was...
It had drive and motivation.
I was participating in a world, and
I've never played it. But going back to Ocarina...
Ocarina of Time.
Ocarina of Time. You didn't mention that before, Danny. You just said Legend of Zelda.
The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time.
Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time.
Oh, yeah.
So when was the last time you played it, Danny?
Recently, I've been playing it on the 3DS.
It's out on the 3DS?
Yeah.
That's
and
interesting.
It's fantastic.
So what happened to the original game?
I don't know.
Because I was thinking of having a giveaway. Danny's copy of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. We're going to give this to one lucky viewer. If you can name the stop, I don't even know. There you go, Danny, you can have it.
Is it in there? Holy crap.
Wow. I thought you'd like that, Danny.
Crap.
So there you go. Dusted it off. My gift to you, Danny.
Thank you.
Reunited again.
Wow. This is...
And now that we have the Nintendo 64, we can actually play it.
Yep.
Old school.
Do what? We gonna do what? We're going streaking!
There's no school quite like it.
No, that's right. I played Wind Waker. That's like one of my favourite games of all time.
Yeah. I'd say that's my
Not
second
retro
favourite
enough
Zelda.
for this list, though.
No. So next, our almost retro list.
So that's on your next favourite Zelda, Wind Waker.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
Wind Waker's
great.
definitely my
I
number
love
two
Wind
favourite.
Waker. I love the
Fantastic.
art style, and I was really close to buying a Wii U just so I could revisit the HD version of it.
That's exactly why I'm
Yeah.
buying a Wii U.
Yeah, nice. Then we can play it again.
Oh, yeah.
We can play it for the show, Danny.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right, folks, the moment you've all been waiting for. So my number one, Danny,
Yep.
I wonder if you can guess it.
3D Movie Maker.
Oh, damn it.
What, really?
I was going to say it starts with the letter 3 and ends in D, Movie Maker. I don't have the box, unfortunately, Danny, but I do have the manual and the CD-ROM.
Wow.
But not the disc.
That was more than
I don't know where it's gone.
That was more than a game to you, wasn't it? That was
it
more
was.
of
It was a religion.
It was a culture. It was a community.
Yeah, it was a cult. So this game was released by Microsoft Kids, a division of Microsoft at the time that's now not around.
Sure.
And what a beautiful nugget of a game.
What's the purpose of the game?
Well, just to make movies.
How so?
Well, you would have characters and props and all sorts, and you could use sound effects, and you would just position them in the stage, and you just push them around. So, click the OK button. It's 3D Movie Maker.
I actually played 3D Movie Maker for a spell, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So what did you make, Denny? What was your magnum opus?
I didn't get that far.
Mine, do you remember mine, Denny?
Fuel.
It was Fuel. Oh, yeah, it was
Action
Fuel.
movie.
Yeah. Oh.
With guns and houses exploding and doors being kicked in.
Wow.
Heavy metal.
Yeah. Offspring all throughout it.
Yeah.
And it took me like a year to make, and it still wasn't finished, and it was basically just a
There was at least 7 seconds
video.
though, right?
Oh, 7 good seconds. Pretty good, at least. I think it's safe to say that 3D Movie Maker is pretty much what got me into movie making.
Wow.
It was during the time of playing this program, I got a video camera and used to make movies with my friend. So,
I mean, I know you were part of like a community or like
I was a part of a community
group or something?
back in like 98 to 99 or something like that.
Wow, okay.
I used to make heaps of movies, and a lot of people would make their movies and then post them online.
So you could see other people's movies?
You could see other people's movies, yeah.
Were they any good?
Yeah, some of them were terrific.
Cool.
Yeah, and the thing is, you had to make your own scenes.
Yeah.
Because only the rookies would use the stock backgrounds. So you'd have to build your own guns and build your own scenes and people if you wanted to. There was also a Nickelodeon 3D movie maker.
Seriously?
How cool is that? No one ever played it though, because you want to make real films and not. I mean, it's all.
You want to make real films with your 3D movie maker. Jesus. Makes much more sense.
It was just.
So it's like a simulator almost to an extent, the same way Minecraft.
It wasn't really a simulator. It was just kind of.
It was like an art project on crack.
It was an art project. Yeah. No, that sounds good. I'll take that, Danny.
You take that?
Yeah. Take that to the bank.
Okay.
But yeah, no, you could pretty much play this forever.
Oh wow.
And
when was the last time you opened it up?
Just now.
They're our top 5 retro games. Our top 5 games when we were growing up.
Yeah.
5
nice.
and 5.
Our fiver.
Let us know what you think of our list. What did we miss?
Yeah.
What would you include?
What would you include?
Like and subscribe to the video. Do you have any ideas of what any of my games might be?
I'm sorry. Oh, I'm on the cusp. It's like a... God. Okay. I can feel it. It's like I'm gonna sneeze, but it's all that cocaine I did before the show.
And Mitchell's number 5 game is Spore.